Hello, my friend. I'm Owen Thorne, and I'd like to welcome you to a cozy, peaceful journey. Right now, settle into a soft spot, perhaps your bed or a comfortable chair, and gently close your eyes if that feels right. As you inhale, imagine drawing in tranquility, and as you exhale, let your muscles release any heaviness they've been holding. In just a moment, I will guide you to a quiet, forgotten castle on a rainy afternoon. For now, simply allow each breath to become slower, steadier, and calmer. Notice how your shoulders begin to fall away from your ears, how the space between your eyebrows softens, and how the warmth of relaxation starts to weave itself through every cell in your body. With each gentle inhale, you welcome a touch more serenity. With each easy exhale, you allow the cares of the day to dissolve like distant echoes. This space we are creating is for you, a restful sanctuary where thoughts can drift away on the soft hush of rain. Take one more deep breath. Let it fill your lungs, then let it go. Feel free to sink deeper into this gentle moment. Now, imagine the pitter-patter of a gentle rainfall as though it is falling upon ancient moss-covered stones. Envision a faint glow in the distance, something like candlelight, soft and golden. Let yourself be drawn to that warm, beckoning gleam as you continue to surrender to each soothing breath. There's no rush, no pressure. Take your time and allow your body and mind to unwind. You are entering a realm of timeless tranquility, where only the rhythmic lull of rain and the hush of centuries past exist. In a quiet corner of the countryside, far from the hum of busy roads and bright city lights, a forgotten castle stands amidst rolling hills. Thick ivy climbs its towering walls, and soft moss blankets crumbling stones. This ancient structure has weathered centuries of whispers and echoes, awaiting a gentle soul willing to listen to the stories it might tell. One rainy afternoon, clouds drift lazily overhead, filtering the sunlight into a muted glow that envelops everything with a sense of hushed enchantment. Silver raindrops glide down the old fortress walls, collecting into sparkling rivulets along the edges of weathered windows. Inside the castle, light from narrow stained glass windows pours onto the stone floor in quiet splashes of colour. Pale blue, soft lilac, and tender gold. The corridors are wide, their ceilings curved in graceful arches. The sound of raindrops lightly tapping the roof echoes through every winding passage. Somewhere, an ancient wooden door stands just ajar, revealing a small courtyard that is open to the sky. Mossy flagstones glisten beneath the drizzle, and potted herbs, left by some caretaker long ago, still cling to life, scattering a faint fragrance of rosemary and thyme through the damp air. Drifting through these corridors, one might notice how the hush of each footstep seems to be swallowed by the thick stones. The centuries have softened the edges of the structure, rounding off the corners, and nature has begun to reclaim every nook and cranny. Ferns sprout from hairline cracks in the walls, while tiny streams of water find their way down meandering paths in the mortar. It is a place both grand and delicate, like a long-forgotten secret resting quietly, awaiting patient discovery. In a softly lit hall, near an arched window overlooking the courtyard, a small wooden table stands. Its surface bears the marks of time, with dense and faded patterns from decades of use. On the table, a single candle flickers, casting dancing shadows against the walls. The flame is sheltered beneath a glass lantern, and its glow feels reassuring, as though offering comfort in a space that has seen many silent years pass by. There is a chair by this table, draped with an old tapestry. A gentle figure arrives here on this rainy afternoon, seeking rest from a long journey. This figure, softly stepping on the cold floor, carries a sense of wonder, as if stepping back through the pages of history. Their shoes leave faint, damp footprints, quickly vanishing as the stone soaks up the moisture. They pause at the table, taking in the hush of the chamber, the subtle flicker of candlelight, and the soothing murmurs of raindrops overhead. Though the castle itself is silent, there is an unspoken invitation in the air, as if the ancient walls wish to share their calm. The figure places a gentle hand on the old tapestry-draped chair, feeling the worn threads beneath their fingertips. They settle themselves, letting out a quiet sigh of relief as they do. Outside the window, the rain intensifies for a moment, then eases again into a gentle patter. Within these walls, the day moves at a languid pace, each moment stretching out like a soft ribbon of time. It is in this peaceful lull that the figure notices a small corridor branching away from the hall. Drawn by quiet curiosity, they rise from the chair and wander down the corridor's length, guided by the soft echo of their own footsteps and the tiny droplets tapping on the roof above. Here and there, niches in the wall hold small relics: a chipped vase, a carved wooden horse, and even a weathered book whose cover has almost been worn blank. The figure's fingertips glide over these objects, each one resonating with the gentle hush of memory. Beyond the corridor is a library, or what remains of it. Bookshelves, made from dark, glossy wood, line the walls from floor to ceiling. Many of the shelves stand empty, but a few still hold stacks of parchment and leather-bound tomes. The smell in the air is a blend of old paper, earth, and the faintest hint of lavender, perhaps from a sachet left tucked between the pages by someone long ago. A tall window at the far end of the library is open just a sliver, letting in the damp fragrance of the rain-soaked courtyard. The figure steps closer, taking a moment to breathe in the gentle infusion of fresh air and ancient dust. On a reading table in the center of the library, a large volume rests. Its spine is cracked, and the edges of its pages are yellowed. A single gust of wind rustles the parchment. The figure leans over the book, runs a hand lightly over the cover, and carefully opens it to a random page. Inside, the words are delicate and handwritten, the letters looping gracefully. Though the language is old, perhaps half forgotten, the pages are filled with peaceful observations, records of weather patterns, notes on herbal remedies, and sketches of birds that once nested in the high turrets of the castle. It seems that whomever wrote in this book was a keen observer of the natural world, content to note every detail of a quiet life spent in harmony with the castle's surroundings. Outside, the rain continues, weaving a gentle percussive lullaby. Occasionally, a distant roll of thunder shimmers through the air, but it remains soft, more a comforting rumble than anything unsettling. The figure remains in the library for a time, lost in the calm hush of the castle's memory. Then, closing the great volume, they decide to explore further, curiosity leading them along gently lit halls and hidden doors. A narrow spiral staircase ascends from the library's corner. The steps are worn smooth by the footsteps of countless travellers who once climbed them. Some stones are chipped, but each feels solid beneath the figure's steady tread. Light from slit windows illuminates the spiral in ghostly intervals, accompanied by the ever-present whisper of the rain outside. Emerging onto a small landing, the figure notices another chamber, its door slightly open. This chamber is smaller, more intimate, lined with faded murals depicting pastoral scenes. Rolling hills, tall oak trees, and deer at rest beneath the boughs. The colours, though subdued by time, still hold a gentle warmth. A large window in the corner overlooks a courtyard below, where raindrops form ripples in a circular stone fountain. Lush green vines drape over the edges of the fountain, and the water is dark and reflective, mirroring the heavy sky above. Within this chamber lies a modest fireplace, its opening framed by carved stone vines and leaves. Though no fire burns now, there is an inviting sense of coziness, as though the space itself could easily awaken to warmth if a few logs were stacked and lit. A cushioned bench, perched beneath the window, calls with silent invitation. The figure moves toward it, sets down a small bundle, and gazes outside. They watch droplets trickle from the eaves, forming silver lines in the air, then splashing onto the fountain's surface. Each drop sends little ripples across the water, gentle circles expanding and merging in an unhurried dance. On the windowsill, a small candle holder stands, its wax long gone. Nearby, a cluster of smooth stones, perhaps collected from the courtyard, sits in an arrangement that suggests thoughtful care. The figure's eyes linger on these stones, imagining who might have placed them there and why. Perhaps, long ago, someone else found solace in the same view, setting small treasures along the ledge to watch them catch the glimmer of late afternoon light. Across the courtyard, droplets drip from the edges of sagging roofs. Moss clings to every surface, and tiny patches of wildflowers peek from cracks in the stones. Their pastel petals, pale blues, soft yellows, delicate pinks, contrast with the wet slate greys of the castle walls. It is a scene of gentle resilience, where life finds a way to flourish in the quietest places. Returning to the corridor, the figure follows a meandering path, taking in the soft glow that lingers near the windows, and the comforting dimness that fills the interior walls. The hush of the castle feels like an embrace, a reminder that sometimes the most profound peace can be found in forgotten corners and slow afternoons. Each step draws them deeper into the castle's rhythms, in tune with the patter of raindrops on ancient stone. At length, the figure discovers a corridor that leads to a wide, arched doorway. Beyond it lies a great hall, perhaps once used for gatherings, feasts, and music. Now, the vast space echoes with the subdued hush of rainfall. High above, a vaulted ceiling bears the faded remains of a painted sky, where mythic birds soar among wisps of cloud. The figure pauses to admire the artistry, imagining the once vibrant colours that might have adorned those winged silhouettes. At the centre of the great hall stands a long wooden table, its surface marked by time and etched with subtle designs. A few chairs remain, scattered around the edges, their upholstery worn and threadbare. Yet, there is a gentle dignity about it all, a sense that within these stones resides a living memory of simpler, slower days. The raindrops continue to fall outside, nature's lullaby echoing through the tall windows. At one end of the great hall, tall, graceful doors open onto a balcony overlooking the rolling hills. Although the day is draped in grey, with low-hanging clouds hugging the horizon, there is something comforting in the sight. The figure steps onto the balcony. Stone balustrades, darkened by centuries of rain, line the edge, and a few delicate plants have found a foothold in the cracks. The air is fresh and cool. A gentle breeze carries the scent of damp earth and the faint perfume of flowering vines that cling to the outside walls. From this vantage point, the figure can see how the castle nestles into the landscape, its towers reaching modestly above the treetops, merging with the hush of the hills. Mist drifts lazily across the land, blurring the boundary between earth and sky, and pockets of light slip through the clouds, illuminating distant patches of green with a soft radiance. The figure rests their hands on the cool stone rail, feeling the subtle vibration of raindrops as they land. In this quiet moment, the only sounds are the whispers of wind, the distant coo of a dove hidden in the rafters, and the steady hush of water falling from the sky. Time passes gently as the figure stands there, letting the mind wander amid the rhythmic rainfall. The day feels suspended, as though the world outside these castle walls has momentarily paused, granting a precious space for rest. In that timeless quiet, an unspoken bond seems to form between the traveller and the ancient structure, as though the castle, in its silent watch, has welcomed this gentle presence. Eventually, with a deep, easy breath, the figure steps back from the balcony, returning once more to the great hall. Perhaps, they think, there is a hidden corner somewhere in this old fortress, a place to lie down for a while and listen to the raindrops as they whisper of centuries long past. Wandering across the hall's wide floor, the figure notices a small door to the left. Softly pushing it open, they find a set of shallow stairs leading down to another corridor, one that seems cozier, with lower ceilings and rounded arches, reminiscent of a warm burrow. Lamps once lit this passage, but time has taken its toll, and only the faint glow from narrow windows guides the way. The corridor leads to a room that may have once been personal quarters, perhaps for a caretaker or a member of the household. The space is modest but welcoming. A simple bed frame stands along one wall, layered with soft, tattered blankets. Opposite the bed sits a chest, its lid slightly ajar, revealing a glimpse of woven fabrics inside. A window, smaller than the others, lets in the sweet sound of raindrops trickling down the glass. The figure approaches the bed, testing the mattress with a gentle press. Though old, it seems to hold a surprising comfort, as if it's been waiting for a weary soul to rest upon it. The traveller gently removes the top blanket and notices the subtle scent of lavender, perhaps stored with dried sprigs at some point in the past. This fragrance, mixed with the damp hush of the rainy air, creates a soothing lull. Tiredness seeps in like a comforting wave, reminding the figure that in places of true calm, rest comes easily. Outside, the rain continues to fall, a tender applause from the clouds, and within the castle walls, time drifts in a realm of its own. Lying down, the figure closes their eyes, feeling the old mattress cradle them with a surprising warmth. The hum of the rainfall is joined by the faint sigh of the wind, moving through the corridors like a gentle caretaker. Each breath draws in that delicate lavender scent, easing away lingering tension. The mind gradually sinks into a serene state, lulled by the knowledge that the castle stands guard around this peaceful moment, its stones imbued with centuries of stillness. As the figure dozes, the day grows ever softer. The sun, hidden behind grey clouds, begins its slow descent, and an even more subdued light fills the rooms and halls. Shadows lengthen across the floors in hushed tones, merging with the calm gloom that signals the approach of evening. Yet still, the rain plays its gentle rhythm, unhurried and comforting. In distant corners of the castle, water drips in slow droplets from ancient gutters into shallow pools, marking each moment with delicate, echoing plops. A dreamlike state settles over the space, time weaving in slow circles. The figure envisions soft images, perhaps the caretaker who once lived here, lighting a small oil lamp and opening the window to let in the night air. Maybe there were children's voices in these halls once, laughing and playing hide and seek in the many tucked away passageways. Perhaps the caretaker watched over them, ensuring that every corner remained safe and welcoming for exploration. Now, only the memory remains, held like a gentle secret in the hush of these stones. In the corridor outside, water seeps into the mortar, forming a pattern of delicate lines that glisten by candlelight. The figure stirs slightly, half aware of how the castle itself seems to breathe, as if the centuries have granted it a quiet consciousness. Every raindrop that falls on its roof is like a comforting pat on the shoulder, a reminder that nature, with its cycles of rain and renewal, helps cleanse away any weight that might linger. Waking from the light doze, the figure feels profoundly rested, as though hours have passed, though it may have been only moments. Rising from the old bed, they smooth the blanket, grateful for the space it provided. The corridor beckons once more with its gentle glow. Following it back towards the main hall, the figure steps lightly, each footstep subdued by the hush of ancient stone. Soon, they return to the spot near the high windows, where the rain outside has begun to taper off. The clouds shift, revealing a sliver of pale sunlight that casts a new glow across the castle's interior. The figure stands at a window and gazes out over the courtyard. The fountain brims with rainwater, forming a small pool of shimmering reflections. Ivy leaves glisten in the fresh wash, and the gentle drip-drip of water lingers in the mild hush. As the figure prepares to leave, the castle's corridors seem to offer a wordless blessing. It is as though the old fortress is grateful for the quiet companionship, for the chance to share its calm and hush with a weary traveller. The figure steps toward the grand entrance, occasionally running a hand over the smooth, worn walls, feeling the subtle hum of life that resonates within them. In the outer hall, a pair of sturdy doors lead to a modest courtyard gate, now dripping with rain, and beyond it lies the wide, tranquil landscape. Crossing the threshold, the traveller pauses on the castle's steps. The last droplets of rain sparkle in the muted light, forming delicate beads on the stone. A mild breeze sweeps through, carrying the earthy fragrance of damp soil and soaked greenery. Birds begin to stir in the trees, softly calling out, as if to welcome the quiet renewal that follows a gentle rainfall. Beyond the castle walls, rolling hills stretch into the distance, dotted with clusters of trees swaying in the waning drizzle. The figure breathes in deeply, letting the serenity of the scene imprint itself upon their heart. The castle behind them stands as it always has, quiet, patient, and filled with a solemn warmth. If walls could speak, they would murmur a humble farewell, reminding travellers that they are always free to return and rest again in the hush of ancient calm. Now, as the rhythm of the day winds down, you may imagine yourself drifting away from the castle, carrying that soft glow of peace deep within. Let your breathing slow and deepen once again. Each inhale brings the memory of the castle's cozy corridors. Each exhale releases any remaining tension. Notice your muscles growing looser, your arms and legs feeling warm and heavy, your heart at a gentle pace. That rain-soaked hush belongs to you now, a lullaby to guide you into a place of total rest. You can let your eyelids grow heavier if they haven't already. The body and mind sink into a comforting expanse, much like the castle's quiet halls. Thoughts that arise can drift by like clouds, and you can watch them float away. There is no need to follow them. If you wish, you can return to the memory of the ancient fortress whenever you like, to walk again among the ivy-covered walls and gaze out across misty hills. In your mind's eye, the soft glow of that rainy afternoon remains, inviting you to rest. Feel your breath flow with ease. Let each exhale be a gentle release. The day's cares have dissolved, replaced by the calm of old stone and the whisper of rain. Allow yourself to sink into the embrace of deep, restorative relaxation, free from any demands of the outside world. The hush you feel now is timeless. Let that castle of stillness stand watch over your dreams, offering sanctuary in its every corner. You are safe here, cradled by the lull of your own steady breathing. With each gentle beat of your heart, the invitation to sleep grows stronger. Picture the final rays of the afternoon sun fading into a quiet dusk, the raindrops becoming slower and softer until they're just a tender memory. The last threads of daylight slip away, ushering in a peaceful night filled with restful silence. In this moment, you have all the permission you need to let go, to release your mind and body fully into tranquil slumber. Good night, dear traveller. May your dreams carry you through the hushed corridors of ancient peace. Sleep well.